Hey there, Riverica here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are seeing what the sun in Aquarius, sextiling Chiron in Aries at 12 degrees has to say. But before we do that, some disclaimers. I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist. I'm a fortune teller. So what I offer is no substitute for those services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your futures. Only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gift of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting. And I am going to jump into sharing our helpers today. Of course, I have my mini crystal ball and some beach stones and my little turtle and some stone wands on each deck of cards. And then I have my wooden dice, wooden dagger, wooden wand. So you know the wood buoys, the spirits, and the wands. Oh, they're for so much. You can research on your own. And I have my Tibetan bell kit. I've also lit some candles for Source, for Mother Earth, Father Sky, the homeless, those that kick them out of their homes, the neighbors, the passers-by, even those working against our spiritual progression, harmony, unity, and balance, Raphael, the Archangel of Wednesday, our ancestors here in the highest love and light, and those that have crossed over to Father Sky by suicide, and the family and friends they left behind, and the war-torn families, countries, and galaxies. And we thank Source for helping us all adopt success, transmuting these violent cycles to love. Heartily, we are grateful. So we have 6 decks of cards, which I shall leave in the description, so you may see what those are. But I shall tell you right now. We have the Paragrams by Paramahansa Yogananda, and here is the stone wand that accompanies that. Let's see here, there we are. Pardon my fingers, I might have some glue. I was working on repairing some projects. And then we have, pardon me, the Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild and illustrated by Jimmy Martin. And this is the stone wand that accompanies that. And then we have the Tree Angel Oracle, The Ancient Path into the Sacred Grove by Fred Hageneder and Anhang, illustrated by Anhang. And here is the beach stone wand that accompanies that deck. So shiny. Pardon me. And then we have the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle by Lon. And here is the stone wand that goes with that. And the Cosmic Dancer Oracle by Sedona Soulfire and Tess Whitehurst. And here is the wand that accompanies that deck. And then we have the Living Altar, an oracle and spell deck for the Radical Witch by Kiki Robinson and Ilva Droma Marzana Radzisuski. So thrilled to have all of these decks. And here is the stone wand that accompanies that. So before we jump in, I want to clear your space with some sage and then the Tibetan bell wand. So thank you so much for joining me in that endeavor and for holding the intention of love. So only love is what we shall see. Thank you. you. And if you're wearing headphones, please be aware. Make adjustments. And here we go. Mind, body, speech, and perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. My hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om. Peace. Shanti. Thank you. So the sun in Aquarius. The sun is shedding the spotlight, warming things up, giving energy. And Aquarius is how we can contribute to the collective. But of course, look up 4 or 5 or 6 different sites on your own for more on those meanings. And then Chiron, the wounded healer, has just come into our perspective, maybe since the 70s. And so I urge you to check 4 or 5 or 6 different sites to see what you find out about Chiron. But in short, he is the wounded healer. Trigger warning. You might want to fast forward the next couple seconds if you have sensitivities towards domestic abuse. Chiron was a victim of rape and was abandoned by his families. They were disgusted with him. And so he had this emotional wound to start. And then later on in his life, he turned that into a strength. He became a healer, was excellent with his hands. He was sought after by many for his healing capabilities. And then he got a physical wound and ended up in the stars as the constellation Sagittarius. And so the sun in Aquarius, sextiling Chiron in Aries at 12 degrees, could be about us stepping into our power, moving forward in our authority from a healed space instead of a wounded space. And for orphans and adoptees, this is especially relevant. There's been a dismantling going on over the past 7 years, decades, maybe lifetimes you've been working on this, transforming these adoption fairy tales into adoption reality, and cleaning out what's been swept under the carpet, all the lies, deceit, the loss, the trauma from the maternal and paternal birth families to the adoptive families to yourself. And of course, you can only start with yourself because, right, that's the only one who you have control over. And so many of you have been working so diligently over the past couple years, 7 years, couple decades, and you're getting support with this from the universe and from Chiron and the sun. And so let's see what they have to say. Thank you so much, Source, for guiding this reading. We have deck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you for guiding this reading in the highest love and light, how to move forward minding our business, what the sun has to say about Chiron. We have Paragrams by Paramahansa Yogananda. Self-realization fellowship. So thrilling. It reminds me of teaching, right? Education. The ultimate education is about realizing yourself, right? And Paramahansa shows that in a different way. Some of you might have read his autobiography of a yogi, or some of you might have attended his fellowship at the end of Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. There's a beautiful temple. Some of Gandhi's ashes have found their place there. They work together. And so let's see what Paramahansa Yogananda has to share with us today to help shed light on what the sun has to tell us about sextiling Chiron and Aries. Heartily, we are grateful. You are a whole, full, powerful, loving, spiritual being. And so am I. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. Heartily, we are grateful. Thank you so much for guiding this reading in the highest love and light. And what the sun in Aquarius, sextiling Chiron and Aries at 12 degrees has to tell us. All right, there we are. So we have loyalty. And loyalty says, I'm going to hold up the turtle. Loyalty says, God is equally present in all, but in the heart of the spiritually minded, loyal person who thinks only of him, God is most definitely expressed. God is the secret of all mental power, peace, and prosperity. He is the real source of all that is desirable in life. Through your loyalty to God, you can establish your oneness with him. Realize your soul's perfection. Be loyal, as loyalty attracts the divine attention. When the storms of life gather and the waves of trials buffet you, guide the boat of your life safely to the divine shores by realizing his omnipresence. So sweet, so sweet. This turtle is making me think of the other name for the United States of America, Turtle Island. And this loyalty, this from the Paragram by Paramahansa Yogananda, speaks of God, and I urge you to explore how you might express God in your culture, and feel free to share in the comments section. It's so interesting to see everybody else's perspectives. So how might you express God in your culture? And what does perfection mean to you? Realize your soul's perfection. Be loyal, as loyalty attracts the divine attention. So I invite you to explore your loyalty to God, or however you call God, how you express that daily, whether it's through walks in nature, playing music, writing in your journal, doing your arts, conversations with God, reading books, spending time with your family. How do you express your loyalty? And that is what the sun in Aquarius, sextiling Chiron in Aries at 12 degrees, has to share with us today. And that's happening today, February 1st, 2023. Some of you may have been feeling this earlier. Some of you may be feeling it over the next couple days. So what a beautiful sentiment. And for the adoptees and orphans who are moving from your wounded place to your healed place, what a beautiful reminder of what that means, what your healed space means. Your soul, and what that means to you. How do you express your soul in your culture? So that is what I have to tell you today, what I have to share with you today. And if you enjoyed this reading, you may also enjoy the Mercury and Chiron reading. And I shall leave that. Maybe it'll show up at the end screen for you. And also you might enjoy one of my online courses or my Tuesday circles. So I will also leave links for those in the description, or you can check my About page. Thank you so much for joining us in this session. Thank you for helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.